like everywhere I go, like restaurant, whatever, I see a lot of opportunities, like creative opportunities to incorporate something interesting. And I see a very big need in sort of networking and creating those real life experiences. Like I'm not even sure like who exactly I'm looking for, but someone that can help me, sort of turn all of my ideas into like actual businesses. As AI and all of that digital world sort of expands, I also see a very big sort of opportunity in those kind of, real life communication.
Thank you very much, Krystyna, for coming to my Business Breakthrough podcast. Let's start by opening up. I have met you in London a few weeks ago, actually, and you mentioned that you are doing paintings, right? You showed me some paintings I've seen on your Instagram, weddings, but the very unusual thing is that you do the live paintings, like which I find it is very challenging, it's very difficult. So, would you mind tell us a little bit more about yourself? Like, when did you start? Why are you doing this type of painting, which is kind of seems quite difficult? And then, yeah, a little bit more about yourself.
Yeah, of course. So, my name is Krystyna, and I own Nova Art Studio based in London. Currently, I'm the main artist, but also work across the whole country, and I can sort of source different artists for different events. I obviously paint live for so many years. I have a background in architecture, actually, which helps a lot, with scale and perspective and professional painting. And I've been, capturing, families, emotions, love across the whole country and even internationally for the past few years. So it's been very interesting.
Thank you. Really. So tell me, how does it really work? Because I've seen some of the art. You are there on a wedding in Dubai or some in locations, and then they are actually having that ceremony. They're having that wedding. So how are you able to paint it, and how long does it take? So do they kind of move or how just well that scene Titanic like don't move. You just work. No, we did what? Like
Yeah. No, I get. I know that's how it was done, like back in the days, isn't it? I mean, unfortunately, we don't really have that. I guess the luxury of people just staying days and days in one place. Everyone just seems to be so busy. So no, with live wedding painting, you just, I reach out to my clients beforehand. So we discuss the scene that they want to have captured on the canvas. So it's fully painted on the day. Let's say they want to have a beautiful scene of, the entrance captured on the canvas. So I would, come in 2-3 hours before that scene is happening. Obviously, everyone has their own itinerary, the timing for, all the events, the photo shoot, everything that is happening on the day. So I would come in 2-3 hours before that to start capturing the background of whatever that scene is happening. Then I would, as sort of the couple, for example, comes in, walks in to, for the entrance to sort of get on stage and maybe cut the cake or dance. I take photos and videos for my reference, obviously, to then capture all details, the face features, the outfits, all the sparkle, all the detail for the painting. And so I work off of those photos and videos, but I do that live, so in front of the guests. So the portrait is painted from scratch in front of all suppliers, all the guests. Obviously, you have to look at the reference photos and videos to get all that beautiful detail, but it's all sort of, done in front of everyone. So it often becomes like a beautiful entertainment for all the people to see, especially during, I would say, more quiet ceremonies where, for example, due to like cultural or religious restrictions, people can't have, like loud bands and music or whatever. But they want to have that sort of beautiful, custom, luxurious touch of live wedding painting. So, they would hire myself to paint that scene, and everyone just loves to look at the progress of that.
yeah. I think it's important because it's not like you said, like it's not just a product at the end, but like it's an entertainment. It's something like you can go and like see the details, how you are moving forward with that. I've been on the festival. Was this year? Was last year? I don't know. Was children and my daughter. She likes painting, and then there was a woman, and she was also painting something. I don't know. She was from her head creating something with some kind of a I don't know what exactly it was, but basically we passed her. We were seeing like how she's painting, and then we went around to see another band or do something or for food. Then we came back like half an hour later, and we checked her progress, and she was further ahead again, and she's explaining the layers and things like that. It was very entertaining to watch to see the progress. Actually, you got the end results because like I'm, I cannot do any of these things, and it's like you don't know what everything is involved, but it's like a really nice entertainment. But how did you start doing that? Like because it's kind of I don't see many people doing it. It's like very unique to me. It's like, but maybe because I'm not in that space, maybe it's not. I don't know. But how did you start?
So pretty simple. I had about the idea of live wedding painting. And that first I was kind of hesitant because I was sort of more, I was at that time, 2 years ago, I was like painting murals, custom murals. I was like customizing, like for many luxurious, brands like leather handbags, leather accessories, jackets. But I was also involved in like interior design and architectural projects. Um, and I thought, maybe it's not really for me because I'm more of a like introverted person rather than extroverted. And when I heard about, like you have to paint in front of hundreds of people and talk to everyone, but I tried anyway. I mean, my really any projects that I've done, in the past, I've always like always went for it, even if even if it was something that I would never done before. I would just say, I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna do it, and I'll figure out whatever I need to do. I'll do it. I'll do my research. So I've done my first wedding, and it worked out like, and actually was very, very, very good. Like I had a lot of couples and sort of guests coming up to me after and saying they would love to book as well. So obviously I got like a lot of, in general, up until now, I get a lot of bookings from recommendations. And it's just, sort of rolled over, social media and, references and stuff like that. So just got into it. And actually, as I learned over the course of few years doing that, is that don't really have to be an extrovert, because often in communication, I listen to what people say a lot, all the guests and stuff like that. So it's really more about listening to people. Everyone loves to tell the story, what they do. Sometimes people feel awkward at the weddings. They come in, they want to talk to someone. They want to, sort of, just be like not feel awkward. So I just have a friendly chats with everyone. And that is very, very useful and very, I would say, valuable during the weddings, when everyone wants to feel like part of this social event, part of the community. And
Mhm. Mhm. Okay, it's good. Yeah, perfect. Thank you very much. Actually, it's good that we speak now and not sooner because I've actually been to LA last week. There was a guy, and he'd done a live painting in front of all of us. It was 1,400 people there, and he just stadiums, done a painting of a face of the guest who was there. And it's taking 6 minutes. It takes 6 minutes. If it's a show, his name is David Garibaldi, and then he does it all over the world. And he's like very well known. And he was there. He was just actually next to me because I run the second row, and it was a corner, so I have it all. We have all on the video how we've done it. That was crazy. Like you put the music on, and it was like this and this, and you don't see anything. You don't recognize going on. Then one of his big thing, which he didn't do there because he didn't have the space, but he very often turned it around, and then the face is there. So it was very like engaging. Like it was really nice progress, and it was like a show, right? He done it as a show, and then and I'm like,
I know it's the experience that you get, isn't it? And that's the thing with art. Obviously, every industry is different, but with art, it's sometimes, even like the price range or whatever, of the artist is something that is quite different or shocking to people, but it takes years to invest, financially. I've been investing so much finances and time and effort into learning how to do it, and this is something that is not covered, right away financially. So that's why, it's something that I guess worth mentioning to everyone that is not within the art field. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, he mentioned like Like every time he does the portal in 6 minutes, he need to practice it at home multiple times before
No, it's
ready to, because people will after obviously pay him for 6 minutes, but it took him another maybe few hours to get it to that level. So actually the outcome. So the same like I do a lot of speaking, right? On- And then you speak for I don't know half an hour or whatever, and people are surprised like, oh, how is possible that you do a keynote for an hour and you invade 10,000, some piece 2,000, 50,000? It's like, yeah, but you don't know all the years of experiences and practice of what went into it, be able to do that. But a lot of people, they don't see the behind the scene. And how important for you, or how are you looking at on the because obviously this is a business for you, right? So you need to speak to clients, you need to obviously sell to them, and then you do the art. A lot of times when I speak with art people, and not only in a sense of paintings, but all different types of people, even designing logos, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm the artist. I don't know much about business, and it's gonna come. I'm gonna figure it out. But sometimes they don't make any money because they are thinking like everything's gonna come. They are just thinking on the art side.
Yeah.
It's for you.
Um, well, I'm coming from like a quite salesy background, I would say. Well, since I was a student, I was kind of in sales. Both of my parents, they were in sales. Like they migrated from Ukraine to Poland, where I was born, and they were selling, reselling their whole life. So I was kind of in that environment. I saw how they were, grinding and hustling. So I was very familiar with that sort of structure. And obviously, I went in kind of different direction into more of a, I would say structured and like, art and architecture, but I still had that, the idea of what it is to talk to people. And really, really, I don't know, for me, it's all about transparency, all about coming out to people and actually, talking to people and sort of saying that this is who you are, this is what you do. Is I can have 20 people around me. No one knows who I am, what I'm doing. And like, there's a big chance that people around me are interested in what I'm doing. So it's really, about that networking and sort of communication, sort of getting out there to people. Um, it's just, yeah, like I'm really interested in like in what I do. I enjoy painting. Obviously it's, it has different sort of, I would say, structure when you paint for pleasure and when you paint obviously for a client that paid you a significant amount of money for and is expecting the result and you have a deadline and stuff like that. So it's you need to have legal, financial, and then all those stuff in place, right? Because it's not only like a thing that you do on the side, sometimes like a fully grown business. So yeah, but it's been very nice. And I guess I paint a lot of like multicultural weddings as well. Coming obviously from kind of multicultural Eastern European background, but I came to London and I just like fell in love with diversity. And I guess because it's sort of so authentic within me, people can see it, and I'm very like family oriented person. So people just they see that, and I mainly paint like very family oriented weddings, events, branching out to corporate events as well. Obviously, besides that kind of wedding painting, I do like live event guest sketching. So like 5-6 minutes per custom sketch of each person on the event or the wedding. So and I sort of venturing out into different areas. Yeah.
Yeah, very good. I mean, the one thing that you mentioned, it's super important. And then you've done it very well, obviously, just by how I met you. So we are on the business content show. Yep. You came to check things out, but you came to us, right? You asked some question, and obviously you showed interest. But it's always like that. Sometimes people don't understand it when they go on the networking events. I do a lot of networking events. Yeah, I'm going there, and they are just like me, me, me. They are like, hey, this is what I do. I am an electrician. I am this. A lot of people around real estate. So look, they are speaking about themselves, and then it's not very interesting, right? But okay, and you're like, okay, guys, what is it you do about the AI? Can help my business or something. So when you get interest, then obviously law of reciprocation is like, I'll ask you back, what is it you do? and what is your business? And obviously I'm from Czech Republic, you are from Poland. No, pogadać po polsku. People wouldn't understand. So obviously it's very easy for us to build a rapport. I've seen you, we chatted for a few minutes. I'm like, yeah, that's my person. And then obviously, hey, come for a podcast, it'll be good. And you are like, oh, come on a podcast. And now so it all takes a little bit of effort, but then things start happening. And obviously I run events, I run masterminds all over the Europe, and for people not only to be there, but also, this is like a very cool thing also to have very involved with support. So all these things lead to something. So I think it's very important to mention, because a lot of people are afraid to go out there and speak to people. But this is the exact thing they need to do, right?
No, yeah, totally agree. Yeah.
Do you have like what is like getting you up in the morning, like apart of your child? Are you only what's those? Well, because she got me up as well. She's two, my youngest, so she also. Pori, he's like, nada pori się. Ty when she says pori, she means breakfast, any breakfast, but I'm like, most of them eat here. Part of the children, what gets you going in a business? Like, what is your job?
What's my driving force? I would say just, I don't know. I'm really active person. Like I can't, I guess what I'm struggling and kind of something that I need to work on is to just chill a little bit, but I can't. It's like, it's my nature. Like I sort of, like anytime that I have, and I guess, it's kind of natural to me because it comes, because I love it. Like I love, creating new things. Like I have like so many ideas. Like now I'm trying to look for, like for, it may be for someone like yourself. Like I'm not even sure like who exactly I'm looking for, but someone that can help me, sort of turn all of my ideas into like actual businesses, because I see like everywhere I go, like restaurant, whatever, I see a lot of opportunities, like creative opportunities to incorporate something interesting. And I see a very big need in sort of networking and creating those real life experiences. I'm sure it's not for everyone, so many different personalities, but like in general, with sort of AI coming in, which is something that I'm also interested in. And this is why I obviously saw your stand on the event and I sort of reached out to you. But as AI and all of that digital world sort of expands, I also see a very big sort of opportunity in those kind of, real life communication, because we're human beings. We need that. We want to listen to stories. We want to be part of the community, part of something. It's not good for our development as a society to just be alone and sort of, with technology, we need to be together. So this is something that I guess, people that reach out to me, that are drawn to me, they can see it, and they sort of, they have similar, we align on that ideas. So just, I guess that kind of, just my personality, like that, the drive that I have for what I do, the interest is what, like makes me, like pushes me to keep going.
Yeah. Okay, good. I think that is exactly why I actually host masterminds for people. Means we are doing 3 already for the next year. And so yes, we are actually doing one in Poland. I mean, I call it Slovakia because, we got it on the border. It's a Czech Republic, Slovakia, and Poland, and we're gonna be staying in Poland.
In Krakow.
No, Krakow, Zwardon.
Zwardon, yeah, maybe. Yeah, there's like the whole mountain on the south passage.
Sure. Then we did another mastermind in Romania. Then I did another one in Scotland. Why I'm saying that is because I feel different. And exactly this is the same thing, because not only AI but also COVID. So everybody is going virtual, right? Which on one hand is good because we can do this. Because obviously, if I'll tell you, hey, come to Scotland and shoot the podcast in my studio, some people will do it, but majority of people, it's a lot of time and money to spend. So we can do this to get to know each other on some certain level, which is good. But I see very big potential. Actually, a lot of people are doing events more virtually. So I don't want to do any events virtual. Like I want, when I do the masterminds, isn't, and people ask, like, can I do it virtually in my event? I'm like, no, you can. If you want to be with me and the exercise with us in the workshop, it needs to be in person because it does how I build a connection with that person. It is how you're going to actually build a business.
Yeah.
And then I definitely agree that it's going to be even bigger need for people to do it. That's why also the speaking, because I think like people always want to have a real speakers in when I want to listen to AI robots really. So there needs to be some emotions and things like that. But like definitely there is a connection in different bands. It's so in on a go back. Yeah, it will more and more distant you to people. Definitely aligning here with you. And so you mentioned you have plenty of ideas. Share me a couple of ideas. What is it you want to unfix?
Yeah. No, I can because it's obviously some of them are shared already anyway. So venturing out. So I will be starting next year. Well, first of all, art classes for children and teenagers. Obviously I have a 2-year-old and as as a mom that is an artist and that was, raising him, spending like all my time with him. I saw how well I was painting a lot with him, basically. Yeah, as I was painting and doing my work, he was with me, literally in my studio. Literally, I was preparing for the art shows, doing like all types of artworks.
Blah. Look, this is good one. Good one.
Yeah, literally, and I saw how positive, like how positively like painting and artwork influenced my son throughout his first 2 years, and in general how art is very very good for children's development, very very fragile brain development, which is happening so rapidly in the first 3 years, especially of our children's life. So something that I'm very passionate about and something that I will be sort of incorporating from next year, and something that I probably won't be leading myself specifically, but I'm looking for people that sort of align with the same view and that will be able to professionally lead those classes. But also what I noticed painting at so many, family weddings and events is that children love the children, they run, they come to me, they look at the way I paint, at the painting, they ask me like questions. And, I guess this is where, experience comes, into place from my side is, to be able to paint and also, talk to people, like to children and stuff like that. And, and they just love seeing painting. Like you said, when you were working with your daughter, and I often see like, and whenever I would go to any wedding with my son, sometimes we want to have a little bit, like at least 2-3 hours of a breather to enjoy the event. And but obviously you're here with your children, so you have to look after them, make sure they don't, take any part of the decor or whatever from the wedding. So yeah, I will be introducing art classes, supervised art classes for children during weddings and events. So that parents, whenever they go to the wedding, like family weddings, whether it's, family members or the bride or groom themselves, they can book that kind of quite, very, reasonably priced session for all the children that are present during the wedding or event to sort of be entertained with different crafts and painting tables, like bubbles. And so there's be like small different allocated like section for children, and parents can have a rest, children's are entertained, and very very beautiful touch for the for the weddings, especially for like I would say like high end luxurious events. The way I sort of created it, envisioned it, is to be very sort of like simplistic, but also attractive for children, right? So it's it's not like clowns, or like anything too loud, but very like sensory experience that is supervised at all times by professionals. Yeah.
I think it's a great idea. Also, the weddings can be boring for children. There is a lot of things happening before. It's like not like for adults, but like kids. Depend on what age they are, but they're a little bit older, but to be younger, having someone to help them to do some action, not goes up definitely. Right? Let's go to our class once a week. It's always nice seeing their progress. They will come. They can paint more better than me. I cannot really say. I'm always impressed with them, what they can achieve. But knowing those techniques, learning, and me and my wife, we are not one of the founders of Artit, so we can't really teach them anything ourselves. So we just send them someone. But then the question is, good enough. But, at least they are enjoying the process, which is important.
Yeah. That's true. Like children, they enjoy the entire process of painting. It gives you free time and obviously very productive time for them as well. So yeah, benefits on everywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, a lot of you do. Yeah, I see, like you have a lot of different ideas. So it's about, like I understand. I'm just like sometimes with running a business, we are just fucking with the next ready what you want to do. And now the ideas are coming in, and now it's about executing those ideas, right? So for that, obviously, the only option you come with all of that is definitely having the right team, and and be working in a team to accomplish everything what you want, and also learn from another people who are in the business. Like that's kind of the math as well. But we come together, everybody has a different skill, and then we help each other, right? So here's how it works. And I ask always people in who's PC, their business, have you ever felt like not doing it, felt down and like that enough, or no, either money wasn't coming, you didn't have the gigs, or just the mental state wasn't good enough, or you've been already okay? And if you've not been okay, how do you overcome it?
I guess I'm going through like a different stage right now where for the past, few years I've been growing year by year, but now is the time that I have to sort of rethink my entire structure. And like I said, obviously think about how can I, for example, implement AI into my business? How can I, expand my team? Because that is, crucial part of, any business. If you want to expand, you can't do everything by yourself. And sort of, so, I reached the point where I sort of, I've been working, but now I have to spend a lot to grow. Again, so I have to reinvest a lot into the business to sort of, go even higher because I can't physically do that. Specifically, especially, taking care of a 2-year-old for majority of my time. So this is what I have to think about the structure of the business. Yeah.
Excellent. I mean, we will invest, correctly. I'm always dig you to the next level. And I'm doing that for the past 5 years since I started real estate, learned something. I know when I bought my ever or something like a chain, it was like £1,000. And I'm like, oh, I'm telling how am I gonna do it? So difficult. I went on that training and the training wasn't as good. I'm like, oh, this first training and it's not as good. And I'm like, in fact, but so far, I have to say, in the past 5 years, I already spent $150,000 in myself in investing in events, coaches, education. And every time I invest, in the right thing, where I need to go, it always multiplies like a lot. It's you don't know what you don't know. And
Yeah.
sometimes I see people like, yeah, I know exactly what to do. I'm like, yes, you know what to do. So that's why you are here. If you want to get here, you need to learn new things, and you don't know them. And then and a lot of people, they think like they know everything and there's nothing to learn. I'm like, yeah, okay. If that would be the case, but there is so many things which people don't do and they can make it better.
Yeah. No, that's so true.
Um, yeah, I think for the first podcast, I think there's plenty which we covered today. And what we can do, firstly, it's just remind you how's your studio called. So I follow you, but just to remind you once again, we'll put it in description as well. And I will cut a lot of videos from that. Just it also about your website, maybe.
Yeah, of course. Do you want me to tell you now or send it to you?
You can also say what's the name?
Okay, Nova Art Studio. So NOWA is this something that you wanna like put as a video, or are you writing it down?
No, I don't need to write it down. I know I have it. It's just you say it so people, if somebody listens and they don't want to look at the description, they can just go and search it.
Oh, okay. So let me just say it nicely. Okay. Yeah. So it's Nova Art Studio. You can find me on Instagram at nova.art.studio. You'll find all the links there. The website. You can make all your bookings on the website. I am running a sale, a discount if you book by the end of the year. So you can definitely reach out and get a very good deal for the live wedding painting or painting from a photo.
Awesome. Amazing. Thank you very much for sharing.